In order to understand why music is taught so badly, I want you to imagine a world where we taught language the same way we're teaching music today. Here's what that curriculum might look like. Year 1. Most students have heard speech by this point, but unless they have talkative parents, they probably have never seen anyone that they know speaking. So, we start with the basics. Vowel sounds. This is the easiest for students to master because guttural sounds are easy to reproduce. Some students may venture out into consonants, but teachers should discourage this behavior until they have fully mastered vowels. Students will be expected to practice these sounds at least an hour a day. This is an important discipline to master if they ever want to become speakers. They will need to practice the long sounds first. A, E, E, as well as the short sounds. Ah, eh, and so on. Once they've mastered the short and long sounds, then they're ready for mixing these sounds. It is helpful to produce structured drills for the students. For example, long, short, long. A, and short, long, short. Ah. They will need to master this before they are allowed to graduate to Year 2. Year 2. Next, consonants are taught. And it's usually here where most students struggle. There are so many more consonants than vowels that all but the most talented students start to lose interest. We start with the single-letter consonants. Even though they won't learn their alphabet until Year 4, this can be a gentle introduction to the subject. We next move into double-letter consonants like CH, SH, and TH. And of course, after that, we begin to mix them. Drills are helpful and parental involvement key to ensure that students are practicing their consonant sounds at least an hour a day. It's a good idea to frequently test students to make sure they're doing their daily drills. Year 3. Consonants and vowels together at last. Year 3 is where consonants and vowels finally come together to make what I like to call word-like utterances. These aren't real words, mind you, but word-like words. For example, g, I, b, or n, d. It's at this point where teachers are encouraged to gently suggest to parents of the more gifted students that they enroll their children in private language lessons. This not only has proven helpful for students, but many language teachers supplement their meager incomes with these lessons. Year 4. Statistically speaking, 90% of all students will not make it this far. They will usually repeat Year 2 or 3 for the next few years and then drop out. In fact, many schools no longer require or even teach language past Year 2. But programs that go this far will usually start with the alphabet. Since the alphabet is quite large, many teachers have found that sticking with the letters that don't have too many lines in them is helpful. For example, upper and lowercase o, uppercase q, upper and lowercase x and t. Year 5. This year is more of the alphabet. Students will learn the most complex letters to recognize, letters like uppercase E and F, and what are called the line circle letters, lowercase b, p, d, and their cousins, lowercase q and g. And they should be able to recognize the difference between the lowercase letters and their uppercase counterparts. After Year 5. It's at this point that the student's lifelong study of sounds usually moves from the school to the extracurricular. Finding good language teachers who can continue the curriculum until the student goes to a language college is difficult and expensive. There are many other activities students will gravitate toward that frankly are easier and more fun, like playing video games, listening to music, and spending time with their friends. And most students don't have the discipline it requires to really become good linguists. Also, many students find it difficult to continue their studies, as many of them realize that they just don't have the talent for language. That doesn't mean that language education has been wasted on them, not at all. Many people will have a lifelong love of language and can fully enjoy what other people have to say. College years. For the select few who have made it this far, the college years are a high-speed process of learning. They'll learn how to form words, then sentences. And the advanced students may even write whole paragraphs. They will learn sentence structure and grammar. They will be introduced to books and stories and different styles of language and accents and foreign languages. During this same time, students will study the works of the masters and will be expected to read and speak them. Students will be immersed in a world of language and will be expected to speak often. Many students even take it upon themselves to speak to one another outside of the classroom. Master students will be required to write a book for their thesis. PhD students will be expected to write a book using their own ideas. Yes, college is where students finally learn to speak. Language for life. It's up to teachers to give students the love of language so that they can eventually be able to express themselves and possibly even write and communicate their own ideas. Unfortunately, so many people are without this skill and must rely on listening to what others think. We are fighting student apathy, uninvolved parents, and administrative short-sightedness. And it is teachers who must struggle forward in this endeavor for the few, the talented, the talkers. Thank you.